Good afternoon, YouTubers. I'm not an expert. As you may recall, in earlier videos, I started working on a Blackburn saw, making the handle, and it looks pretty good, but it's loose and I just can't really get it to tighten up. I had a lot of trouble making this slot. So I'm going to take a third try at it. This was my second try. So I've got some mahogany. I think that'll make a nice handle. I've laid the pattern out on it, and this time I'm trying something different. I actually have two pieces of mahogany stuck together with double stick tape. I'm going to cut the shape out, and then I can carve the slot in each side and then glue them together. I'll use a router plane to do that. So I'm going to go over the drill press, drill some holes. I'm also going to I found the handle a little thin, so I've drawn some lines of where I kind of want to thicken it, and I'm going to work with that. So now when I go to peel these apart, if I leave some of these holes intact, I can put them back together real well and get them fitted. So I'm going to cut this side out, do the notch. Well, I'll do it over here, but I'll leave this so the holes can be used for alignment. That should work. All right, now to do some chiseling. Grab the correct chisel here. This is my old stiletto chisel. I don't remember where I found it, flea market, I guess. Try to make a nice straight line. Okay. I'm going to use it. It definitely chisels quite easily. I need to go down another half a blade thickness. How much that is. Try that. I think that's it. I'm going to leave my router plane set exactly where it is to do the other side. I think I'll do now. I'm going to do some marking. So I'm going to mark it and I'll come back. And hopefully I have this marked pretty well. There we go. Trying to find an angle that I can do this while I'm filming without causing too much mayhem. I used the router plane to shave just a tiny amount off of here. Just a paper thin layer to be half the width of this blade, which is not much. And I can feel a little ridge there, so I think it's okay. And I think that's going to fit really good. I think that'll be just fine. So let's flip it over to the other, see if we can do the other side. To the exact same depth. Now, how am I going to get this at an angle where I'm happy? Wrong one. Come in here. So I need to mark this line. A little too deep won't hurt anything. A little too shallow will be a problem. I'm being real careful to keep my weight on my right hand. That's one where the wood is to support the plane. on there, see how it fits. A little off center on the camera here. There you go. Now that feels pretty good. I'm going to leave it alone. Now I'm going to drill the holes through one side of the handle, right, using the blade as a template. And then after I glue everything together, I'll drill the other hole, starting on the side that's already drilled through to the other. All right, I think it's ready to separate, flip around, and see how it fits. So I think it's going to be pretty good. Figure out how I'm going to separate it. Where's my junky chisel? This is where you keep, I know we've discussed this before, but everybody should have a cheap chisel in their shop for things like this, where you definitely don't want to use your good chisels. You know, prying, paint can opening is the traditional. Right, there it goes. That's going to pop open here. I'm using spec tape. There it is. Spec tape. Double-sided tape. I got that from Taylor Toolworks. Somebody recommended it. There's a lot of double-sided tapes. It's kind of pricey, but you don't need a whole lot. I don't have to peel that off right away because that's going to be the outside. Oh, there it is. So there it is. Looks better than my first two tries. It's not great, it's better. Oh yeah, that's kind of perfect. I think that is going to come out really good. Now you're going to be able to see that seam probably. I thought about doing two different woods. I just didn't have two handy. So I went with one. A little gappage right there to work on that a little bit. Okay, that's not so bad. I can work on that. All right, so off camera, I clamped them together and I drilled one hole, and then I stuck an extra, I think it's a 3/32 drill bit, whatever size it is. I had two of them. I stuck one in as a guide pin, and then I drilled the other one. So they should hopefully be lined up, and I'm going to glue them together like that also. I'm going to go ahead and just glue this up with that pin in there so that it stays aligned. Maybe we'll do both of them. It's a good idea. Now, a commenter suggested, instead of all that work with a rasp, he said use a Sloyd knife. I went out and bought a Sloyd knife based on that. So let's try it a little bit. I'm not that Sloyd knife oriented. I don't think this is going to be it for me. I think I'm going to want to do it with a rasp. Yeah, I'm feeling rasp myself. So let me clamp this bad boy in here. And I'll get out my favorite rasps. All right, a little sandpaper applied. This is what the mahogany, African mahogany, is going to look like. I think I'm just going to put some finish on it. I need to drill the holes here for the nuts. That'll be next. That'll be next. And then we'll be ready for finish. All right, a little sandpaper applied. This is what the mahogany, African mahogany, is going to look like. I think I'm just going to put some finish on it. I need to drill the holes here for the nuts. That'll be next. And then we'll be ready for finish. All right, we'll fit the screws in. I drilled these out with a 7/16 drill. Got a little bit of work left to do here still. Took a drill bit from one of my gunsmithing screwdriver set's a real good place to get a bit like this, very thin on its edge to fit into these slots. And then I took a file and filed a big notch in it so it'll fit over that. Or you can go online and buy, someone else will make you a screwdriver, really. Tighten that down really tight. Okay, that needs to be just these. This side's perfect, flush. This side needs a little more depth to it. That'll be fine. But look, there is no wiggle this time. So I think I did a good job. Need to put a finish on it. I'm going to have to test a couple finishes. Need to finish depthen that out. Maybe a little more sanding, maybe not. I made it a little fatter. This is the last one, which was direct from the template. You can see how skinny the handle is. Can you see how skinny the handle is? It's a little bit thinner. Not a lot, maybe, well, total maybe a 1/4 inch, about 1/8 on each side. This just felt like I don't feel anything behind my fingers. My fingers aren't really touching under here. Kind of, right? It's not great. Although the feel around here is nice. That's a good fit. I don't have huge hands, but this is a size large on the temple. So that has the same feel here. Although I made the back a little bigger and the front a little bigger. And I'm pretty happy with it. So let me go finish fixing that hole, figure out what finish I want, and I'll bring you back, finish the video off with the complete project. Well, that's the end of the handle portion. I still have to polish up the end of those nuts and file them down. They're a little bit long. This is almost 1 inch thick. So it's a little thicker and wider than normal. I put on 1 coat of Rubio Dark Oak because I had a sample bottle. I thought, well, what the heck, let's see how it comes out. Put it on real thick, let it sit for about 10 minutes. Sanded it off. I don't know. Anyway, the important thing's still wet, so I'm holding on to the blade. The important thing is there's no wiggle. It's in there nice and tight this time. So I did it with split. It's a little, you can see some seam, but it's hard to see in this. There's a glue seam right there. You can get that very good. And a little seam around the top, but I think it'll be okay. It feels good in the hand. I'm just noticing there's a flaw right there. The finish really makes the flaws stand out. And there's a dent. Well, it's going to get dents. That's okay. I think I'll just ignore it. Nice thing about using Rubio is there's another flaw right there. Just a little spot. It's kind of hurrying trying to get a video done. But with Rubio, you can always fix it. Just sand it, get it like you like, and put some more Rubio on it. It's supposed to be fun to do that. So here it is. Next video, I will show you how it cuts. This is a kit saw, so it came as pieces, and the blade has never been sharpened. Now, we take a look. I'll show you real close. It looks pretty sharp. It actually feels pretty sharp, but it's not set correctly. It doesn't cut a straight line because it's not set. It's as it came out of the machine that the Blackburn uses to cut the teeth. And it says that right on the website. That's not a surprise or anything. I knew that. I have saw sets, which is be a good subject for a video. I'm not sure about that dark oak color. Looks okay. Looks like some of the other saws I have. I guess it's good. Also, that is a super plain piece of African mahogany. I mean, it has straight grain lines on it. It's not very interesting, but it should be functional. So anyway, that's it. That's another way of making a saw, making that slot a little easier. Still didn't come out perfect. You can see there's a little gappage there. It's pretty good on that side. I think in a few years I'll have forgotten all about it. Let's hope. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.